Hey guys, I'm Ray and we are streaming blacksmithing. Um, so today is Monday and it's a brand new week. We will be streaming from the shop this week or today, obviously, because it is today. And Wednesday, we will be streaming from the shop. On Friday, we will either be streaming from the BAM meeting, the Blacksmith Association of Missouri. And it is they're having their annual or I think it's a semi-annual conference. So either we will be streaming from there or I won't have enough bandwidth to stream at all. So I'm going to do my best to stream out there. There should be plenty of cell phone signal. But if we can't get enough cell phone signal to, start streaming out there, then the stream will be canceled and we'll be back on Monday. So, and I'm really, really hoping that we can definitely stream at the conference because I think it would be a lot of fun to take you guys with me to that conference. So today, it's going to be kind of more of a chill stream today because this weekend the weather has been fluctuating again and my body really hates that. So I kind of still feel a little achy and a little bit worn down a bit from last week and all of this weekend. I don't know what it was. I just could not get good restful sleep and rest in general. So unfortunately, I was not able to film my video on this weekend about the drift punch that I was going to do. So I'm going to try and see about doing that either Tuesday or Thursday, and that will be for next Wednesday if I can manage that. I will keep you posted. As far as today, we are going to finish up some of the stuff that we weren't able to finish last week. So we've got a pretty decent amount of this Y cut with our chisel cut. So we are going to finish that today. And then if we can get this all nice and finished and make this a nice looking Y, we might take this bar here and turn it into a better looking T. Welcome in, Boston. Hello. I'm so glad you guys could join me. So yeah, I wasn't really happy with the tea that we made on, I think it was last Wednesday that we were making this tea. It kind of ended up, I didn't measure correctly because like in my head, if I unfolded the bar that I had, it would double in length, not realizing that the rest of that length would be, horizontal. So I've cut a new piece of skinnier stock so that we can kind of get through it a little bit faster. And so we're going to try and do another split cross with this guy if we get our Y complete. If not, then, I guess I'll deal with it later. Like I said, I kind of wanted to take it a little bit easier today because I'm still tired from last week. But overall, we're doing pretty good. Sorry I'm late. How are we all doing? Hello, welcome in, Fenris. You are not late. We're just getting started. It looks like we have an ad going. So yeah, I'm a little bit, a little exhausted from last week. The weather's just been up and down and all around, and my body hates that. So we are gonna do what we can to manage. And the first thing that we're going to do today is going to be something a little bit weird. I'm going to use a little bit of wire wrapping skill that I acquired while I was a jeweler to kind of give ourselves a different solution to something to hold on to our chisel. This guy, it just won't stay closed. It won't stay tight around our chisel. So what I'm gonna do is I have a nice bundle of wire here, and we're gonna see if we can't like make ourselves a little bit of a holder for that chisel. So I've got a wire cutters and I've got a pliers, and we're gonna see what we can do with those. All right, we're we're gonna start on this side, I think. Excuse me. I don't know what it is. Like I said, I'm a little bit under the weather today. All right. So I'm thinking that I would like to take this and do a double layer and kind of give myself a little pinchy gripper, kind of a design that's very similar to what we use for our striker. So it's a little bit on the skinny side, this wire, but I think it'll still be springy enough that we'll get that spring. So I think I might double this up just so that it gives me a little bit of a tighter and harder surface so it doesn't bend so bad when I squeeze it tight, if that makes sense. So the design is going to be kind of like two long sections, and these guys are the jaws of these are going to kind of wrap around the chisel that I've got here, and then we're going to have this like little round spring I'm going to do. And so that is the goal with this. So I've got a nice bundle of wire here, and we're going to see what we can do. Hopefully this will be a quick job so that we can get started blacksmithing. All right. So first things first, I think I'm gonna, about yay. So we're gonna bend this in half, like so. Whoops. So now we have 2 lengths of wire here. And this, we're gonna curve. So now we kind of have a semicircle going. A double length of semicircle. Like so. And this is going to be a semi, or like a single loopy guy. And on this side, we're going to do like a double hook, right? That's the plan anyway. Okay. So about the same size. It's a little bit shorter, so maybe I'll start here for this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to find myself a round thing that I can wrap it around. So I can have an even wrap. Here's a nice round thing. This will work. So we're going to take this. We're going to wrap it around. I want it to go this direction. Then I'm going to go around twice so we got plenty of spring in there. And we'll take our pliers and squeeze that together so it's kind of going to function correctly. So now we've got one side of it. And in theory, it should work pretty well. We'll see if I can manage this. All right, so now we need to bring this side up. Like so. So we're kind of making, all right, like so. Straighten up some more wire, or we can grab more wire. And then we're going to make a Y shape. What you making again? A clip holder thingy. Yes, I am making a clip holder thing so that we can securely grasp our chisel a little bit better than the last one. I don't know. This might work. This might not work. It's kind of a little bit of an experiment. Whoops. Goodness gracious. I'm making a giant mess is what I'm actually making. Whoops. I'm making it sideways is what I'm trying to do here, apparently. Okay. We're kind of trying to make like a V shape going on here. So once that is similar in circular function, then we will bend this all the way around. Close it. If I can get this open enough to close it. You know what? I'm a blacksmith and I have metal, or like I have hammers for a reason. So we're going to take this over here to the anvil. That should work a little bit. There we go. Much better. So now we're going to follow that curve. This is looking like a giant disaster, but that's all right. Now, go like that. All right. There we go. Now we're going to take our wire cutters and cut that. All right. So now we kind of have like a little thing here, so it can kind of hold, but it's not going to work quite as well as I want it to. I'll kind of shape it a little bit. And we'll see if this functions. It probably won't, but you never know. Quick and dirty and all that. Yeah, it's kind of a holder because I'm just trying to find a way to... Maybe I need to make this backwards. I just need to find something to hold this guy, and I think I made this completely backwards. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to twist this whole thing so that it works backwards. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. Twist it so it works backwards. So that way, we can kind of move it in like so. So maybe this will work, maybe it won't work, we'll see. But it'll be a little bit more... Nope, it's not going to work. Maybe not. I don't know. I guess I will go back to this guy. Not all my ideas are brilliant, but you know. It should work. Anyway, all right, we are going to start the forge now and start actually like doing things, I think. You want to hold the chisel? Yeah, sounds like a woodworking job to me. You need a chisel with a handle sideways. Yeah, that's definitely what I need. And I thought that would work, but I don't think I have thick enough wire is my thing, I think. So I'm just gonna stick that over there. I'm not gonna mess with it. Maybe I'll make something up this weekend. Well, not this weekend, but like later on when I'm making the chisel itself. But overall, I think I'll be all right for now. So I'm just gonna start the forge and we'll see what happens. Yes. Alrighty. And I put that over there. I haven't wasted too much time. It'll be all right. Like I said, it's kind of been one of those days. Well, weeks, I guess. There we go. We'll start this up. There we go. Let's get back to the things that I know how to do. Hi, Ray. Hi, Smithies. Hey, Mahalo. Welcome in. I'm so glad you could join us. I spent the beginning kind of doing a little bit of messing around with some wire and didn't work the way I wanted it to, so we're just going to do things the way we were doing them on Friday, I think. And these guys can go back in their homes. All right. Like I said, it's been a little bit weird this weekend. We had like several rainstorms, and then it would get really bright and shiny outside and like really nice, and then it would get really dark and humid again, and I don't know, I just can't do that very well anymore. Maybe you could make a chisel hammer. Yeah, I mean, I totally wish I should, or I should actually. And this is kind of like what it would be like. This is a drifting hammer. So, you know, you would put this on top of your piece of steel and you'd hammer it with, or on this end, that's why this hammerhead is all mushroomed up, and it would create a nice hole for you to use. Unfortunately, I don't have one made up, so maybe we can make one later. Yeah, that. Yep, that, exactly. So this guy is going in the forge, and I'm just going to use the channel locks again. We'll see how I can, or if I can make that function. I don't really need them for that much longer anyway. So we are relatively close to getting all the way through the chisel cut on our Y. And because we are about to get all the way through, I want to make sure that I keep the top of my anvil safe. So I found a piece of sheet steel that we're going to use kind of to protect the top of my anvil. I don't care if I gouge out little sections of this piece of steel, but I do want to protect the top of my anvil so I don't put gouge marks or cuts in the top. So I did not have one of those last Friday, and I made sure that I went out to this shed where I have all my scrap now and made sure that I brought a piece up. Oh. Yeah, like I said, it's been a weekend, man. And then earlier today, like when I was first starting to put all of the stuff together to get this, because like I take the camera and the laptop and everything, like anything that has a battery in it, and I bring it in the house after every stream, and I bring it out at the beginning. And so I was setting up the computer and everything, and for whatever reason, the like Google wouldn't even pull up. So it took me a little while to get the internet back up and functional again, and I was kind of like worried that I wouldn't actually be able to stream today. But I finally got it up. It seems like it's stable now. I think we had a momentary drop. But like I said, it's up again. I had 80 megabytes per second upload speed last I checked. And so, yeah, I'm a little discombobulated. But I feel like I'm always a little discombobulated, so, you know, we're going to make it work. All right. So this weekend, I will be going to the Blacksmith Association of Missouri conference, so the BAM conference, and that is going to be in Central Missouri. So I will be probably like I got my fingers crossed. We will be streaming from there, and that should be a really fun time. I've got a couple of interviews lined up. So that we can talk to some people. The first one that I have lined up is on Friday night around 5. So unfortunately, I can't stream that one. But I will definitely have a video for that up on YouTube within the coming weeks. So I'm really looking forward to that. Hey Ping, welcome in. Greetings. So let's see. Today I'll be taking it a little bit easier today. Like I said, I'm a little bit under the weather again, and I want to save some energy for this weekend. It's the first time that I am going out to I guess, vacation or workcation or whatever you want to call it. So I don't normally go for long periods of time to like just stuff. So we'll see how long I can go. This is kind of, you know, a trial run to see if I can, you know, do some more of these and like have some vacation fun and things like that. So I'm actually really looking forward to that, seeing how much I have improved stamina wise. So yeah. Missouri, yes, Missouri. It's my Abana meeting. I'm in this weird location, and I was talking about it with my partner, where I am actually within 5 hours of 3 different Abana chapters. So I'm within like 4 hours of the Missouri chapter. I'm within 4 hours of the Illinois and Wisconsin chapter, and then I'm also within 4 hours of the Indiana chapter. So I'm really looking forward to this. If this goes well, I would love to see about getting out to some of the other chapters events as well. It would be really cool to go out and stream from some of their meetings, and or, you know, put out some YouTube videos of their meetings, and it should be a lot of fun. Hopefully it works. Yeah. It would be rather advantageous, you know, to be able to fellowship with blacksmiths from the entire Midwest of the United States. I used to be a member of the Illinois and Wisconsin chapter of Abana, and I had to kind of give that up when I got sick. So it would be good to reconnect with everybody up there, up north. So hopefully it all works out. Looks like the forge is heating up a little bit on the slower side, but that's all right. I think maybe I should have like turned it on a little bit faster today. I was figuring that maybe I could, rig something up with some wires so that I could hold my chisel a little bit better than the channel locks do. But unfortunately, it didn't work out for me. So, we do what we can. Tony Macaroni, sorry, only one today. Well, welcome in, Tony. Thank you so much for that raid. I mean, one viewer is I'm as grateful for one viewer as I am for, all the viewers. Thank you so much for joining me today. Welcome in. We've got lots of people here today. So we are going to finish our why that we started working on Friday. We're gonna finish that chisel cut, and then from there, I wasn't really happy with the T that we made for our smithy sign, and that's this guy right here. So I'm thinking maybe we remake it. So I cut this guy right here. Part of the reason why I wasn't happy with this guy is because in my head, I thought that by unfolding the piece of steel, it would double in length. But then, I mean, I don't know what I was thinking because I'm only unfolding half of it. So I'm retaining the length. So I've cut this guy so that it is the exact length that I want, so that when I unfold the arms, it should be the same size as this bar right here. So if we can manage to finish our Y and the T, I will be a happy camper today. I already see. Hope you have a great stream. Happens as long as you have enough spare material. Yes, I do actually have quite a bit of spare material. And I also found out that I have a sibling whose roommate works at a steel mill in my hometown. And I'm really excited because they informed me that their roommate can actually buy material from their place of employment for scrap prices. So, and I mean, it's brand new stock, and they're able to buy it once a year at scrap prices. So if I can get that set up, we can get some amazing deals on some new stock to replenish all of the stock that we've been using throughout the stream. So I'm really excited about that. I need to get a hold of said roommate so that we can get some more stock in. Oh, nice. Yes. So exciting. Another interesting thing that I found on Facebook today, there is a Facebook group called Blacksmith for Beginners Tailgate Sale. And it's basically a Facebook page for selling blacksmith equipment, selling and trading it. There's somebody who is in Central Texas who has they have a $2,000 power hammer, and it's like, is it an egg yang? I think it might be, but it's a really big old power hammer, and it's a great deal. I'll have to see if I can't find it and link it on the Discord. But yeah, they are selling a giant power hammer. The thing is 3,500 pounds. They're advertising it as 35K pounds, but that doesn't quite seem right. It is missing its anvil, but if you can fix it up and get it all nice and set up, it would be beautiful. It is a ginormous hammer, bigger than the ones that I normally see around. But yeah, that would be quite the deal. Don't normally think of power hammers as tailgate swap meet items. I mean, they really aren't. Sounds like you should go get it in the stream and go. Well, I'm on the Missouri-Illinois border, and it's Central Texas, so that's like a 10-hour drive. And I also don't have space for it in this shop because the power hammer is big enough. I mean, it's bigger than the heater unit that's in here. I mean, it would take up this entire wall over here. I just don't have the space, and I don't have the ability to run it right now. But if any of you guys, you know, you guys, you're professional smiths, or have any use for it, that's a great deal, an amazing deal if you can get that thing fixed up. Gonna lurk. All right. Well, thank you so much for the lurk, Tony. I'll try and put that link on the Facebook page if anybody is interested in it. But yeah, it's on Blacksmith for Beginners Tailgate Sale Facebook page. It's taking a bit for the forge to heat up. We're gonna try and see if we can't get a little bit of work in anyway. Man, that is a loud piece. All right. And we are actually seeing it split. So if I pick this guy up, oh, I forgot to change the camera. So you can actually see the split starting to form right there. So we've got a little bit of ways to bring that back. But yeah, that's a beautiful split. I'm really happy with that. So we'll heat that up and we'll continue that split all the way back up. Once we are done with the split, I want to kind of taper these guys out a little bit so that they're even in width. And then I also want to taper back this end of the Y so that it's all kind of the same width. Clanging. Yes, exactly. So much clanging going on. It looks like I've got an ad upcoming, so we are going to wait for that ad to finish before but I mean, we've got plenty of time to wait because our forge is still heating up. Both the forge itself and the piece are heating up, so they're being a little slow today. And it might just be because my can is a little bit low, but I've got plenty of propane in the other cans. So if we need to change it, no big deal. So let's see what has been going on aside. Well, like I said, the weather has been up and down and all around all weekend. It's been scattered showers throughout the weekend, so we haven't really done terribly much. I had wanted to to film a video on making a drift, but unfortunately I was unable to do that. I want to do that on Tuesday or Thursday because those are the dead days that I have that I spend editing. I usually spend Tuesday editing my Wednesday video, and then I usually spend Thursday working on batch editing shorts from our streams for the YouTube channel. So I'm thinking that we might just shoot that video either Tuesday or Thursday instead of doing the editing. I've got kind of like a little bit of a buffer for my shorts, so I should be pretty good. And I've got this week's video done. We're kind of just working on next week's video. Same in New Hampshire. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's like when you have an old injury and you know, when you can feel that weather and it's just in your bones. It's kind of like that a little bit, not like in my bones or anything. It's just I have trouble breathing and my body's just equilibrium is a little off when it's like really on and off like that. So when you get to a blacksmith meetup, do you bring smithing equipment along or do they have specific invitations for members to set up? It really depends on the smithing meeting, right? It depends on where it's held. It depends on who is hosting and kind of what the goal is. So I've been to blacksmith meetings where they were actually at somebody's shop, right? So in that case, most of the equipment that you're using is the smith or like the host blacksmith's shop equipment. You can bring your own equipment if you have like a favorite hammer or a favorite pair of tongs, or like you're going to bring a project, like a personal project to work on. That's something that happens. Other times there are, you know, we just do things at like this coming weekend. It's going to be at the fair or like a Missouri fairgrounds, and so there isn't any blacksmithing equipment there. So there are 3 presenters, and then there are like classes that go along. And the people who are running the classes and the demonstrations, I believe they're bringing their own equipment. We are encouraged to bring hammers, your safety equipment, and like, you know, a favorite, you know, tool sets or whatever. And some people will bring lots of stuff. Some people will bring a little bit of stuff, and some people will bring nothing at all. So it's kind of like a meetup. It's kind of on a meetup by meetup basis, if that makes sense. And there is always, every time there is a blacksmith meetup, if there's something that people are selling, they'll bring it and they'll put it all together as a tailgating sale. And it's basically like a swap meet or like a, you know, like a showroom where you can just like buy, sell, and trade tools. So that's kind of how that works. I got the same with the change of air pressure. High to low, I get banging, achy head, and other way, sometimes I get a little lightheaded. Stormy weather here today too. Feels weird having a hot and humid, windy, and overcast day. Yeah, it started out as really overcast today, and then it got really, really bright and warm, and it looks like there's some wind and clouds picking up in the area. So it's just not, I don't know. It's just, I hate the spring and fall because we can go from like freezing temperatures up to like sweltering heat and then back down in one single day. And I can't, my body just doesn't like that. So, yeah. But there will be tools and projects for sale the uh, at the conference this weekend. So, you know, I probably won't bring anything home, but every time I say that, I bring something home. So like the last time I went to a meet, I actually ended up bringing home a bandsaw, like a portable bandsaw. And that thing is awesome. I love that thing. It's one of my favorite tools. I don't get to use it that often, but yeah, it's a great tool. But I don't have a lot of spare cash, so I probably won't bring anything big home this time. There's always a chance that I'll bring home like a t-shirt and like, you know, some hand tools or something. But I will definitely, you know, show you guys what's available if I can get the, you know, the stream functioning properly. We can take a nice tour of everything that's there. I'm hoping that this weekend it's very nice out, and because this is a rain or shine event, and the demo spaces will be covered, but getting between demo spaces, it could be challenging if it's kind of stormy or rainy. So I'm hoping everything goes great and everything runs smoothly. Like I said, I've got some interviews all lined up, so we will definitely, get those done and show those, or I'll have videos for those on YouTube in the coming weeks. I always get the t-shirt. I need to add to the loot cave. Yeah, I need to get a t-shirt. Well, partially because I'm starting to run through all my shirts. Like, one thing about blacksmithing is that it's really hard on your clothes. So I'm constantly running through pants and shirts and like setting, because like all of the flashing and the slag and everything, the scale, it sometimes it'll eat holes through your clothes, and you got to make sure that you're constantly buying clothes. So I always, or like I just bought a few new pairs of pants, but I need shirts desperately. I think I have like 3 shirts that don't have holes in them somewhere. Even this shirt I think has a hole in it somewhere. I try to cover the holes with my apron, and so that you guys don't see all of my ratty clothes, but one of these days though I'm going to make my own t-shirts and like with my own logos and designs on them, so that way I can wear them here while I'm streaming, and maybe if you guys are interested, you like the designs, maybe you'll be able to buy them too. The single print industry is pretty decent. It's going to be a little bit iffy while the tariff situation settles, but other than that, I mean, it should be relatively cheap. Heck yeah, gotta rep the merch. Yes, exactly. I would love to do some, single print shirts, but like I said, it's gonna be a little bit iffy for a few while we are deciding, the situation. I'm gonna do another heat on this real fast. And I'm actually going to put start recording so that I can get that last little bit of this cut recorded. Alrighty. It helps when you are on the right camera. And I think I'm going to do that. Seeing as you brought it up, what happened with the prices in the U.S.? What's life like under Trump's? I don't want to get into politics on this stream. I really like, or I want to use this stream as kind of an escape. And I mean, there are lots of people with a lot of different opinions, and I want to make sure that everyone feels welcome here. So, yeah. The only reason I talked about the tariffs themselves is because they would affect the shirt prices if I were to make shirts. All right. And as you can kind of start seeing, you can kind of see through that nice slit in there. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to move one of these sides out of the way, and we're going to start drawing these out just like when we drew out the fork tines for that 2-tined fork that we did a few weeks ago. Yeah, that's fair. My bad. No, I mean, it is, it is a part of life and stuff that we have to deal with, but I just don't. I want to be a refuge and a safe space for, I just don't want to talk about that. There's just so much, people have very strong opinions, and I want everyone to feel welcome and safe here. Camera decided to focus on the quench bucket and not the anvil. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why. Yeah, it is kind of really, I don't know. Let's move the quench bucket out of the way, and then maybe it will refocus on, what it's supposed to actually focus on. Let's see if I can fix it. I have to use autofocus because I just don't have the ability. Okay, there it is. Because I moved the quench bucket, now it's all right. So yeah, because I am a one-man band solo, project here, I have to use autofocus because I can't sit here and make sure that the camera is constantly in focus. I'm also really bad at it because I've got when my glasses get really like fogged up, I can't really see very sharp sometimes. So I'm sorry for that. Okay, it was fine to begin with. Just change the less heat. Okay. Thanks for the warning. I definitely want you guys to be able to see everything. Ooh, black metal. It's only warm, but So we're gonna take this away for the moment. I'm gonna put it down here so that I can put it back if I need to later. But the little piece that I used for, to protect the top of my anvil. My anvil is a little bit damp today, and it might just be because it's so humid out. Very humid. Today I have the door over there open and the garage door is open, but I don't yet have the fan on. I think that eventually I will definitely have to turn that on because it is getting kind of warm with the forge starting to actually really pump out some heat. So we'll probably, turn on the fan eventually when I start really sweating. All right. So yeah, because we are going to start drawing things out, I'm going to put these away for the moment, and I'm going to pull out my 2-pound forging hammer. I'll put these all over here for the moment. So we have cut apart the that V shape in the Y, and we are going to be drawing those, each of the sides of that V out. And so they are a similar width to each other. And so that's going to take us a little bit of time. And hopefully we can get that done. Hello. We are remaking the tea. Welcome in. We are going to be, right now we are working on the Y. And because we were unable to finish that on Friday. And then if we can finish that in time, because we've got a little bit of drawing out that we need to do so that we have a similar width for all 3 of the legs on that Y. If we can get that done, we will be remaking the T. I just wasn't happy with the shape of this guy. I mismeasured this. It's kind of one of those things where it's like measure twice, cut once. I made it about half as long as I needed to make this guy because I thought that I had to cut it in half and unfold it. And then in my head, if I, cut it in half and unfolded it, then obviously it was going to be double the length, right? And it turns out that, when you're only cutting half of it in half and you unfold that half, it is the same length that you started with. So it's really short for what I wanted it to function as. So if I take this guy and I bring it over here, it's kind of really short, really little. So I was thinking that if we had time, maybe we could like, all right, let's see, maybe I'm back. Okay, awesome. I'm glad that I'm back. Okay, so it looks like it was a momentary drop, and hopefully that's it. It's all right if the VOD splits once, but I really don't want it to split like 6 million times, like sometimes it has want to do. Like I think it was like Wednesday or like not last Wednesday, but the Wednesday before we had like 7 breaks in the VOD, and I don't want that to happen again. So if we drop again, I'm probably going to end the stream for the day. Like I said, we are starting to see some wind and clouds roll in, and that's usually an indicator of